Students, class 9. Today in this class I want to start about the social conditions of the Sangam age, The Sangam literature, the social conditions and the economic conditions of chapter 6. What I will teach you, the social conditions and the economic conditions. Now the social conditions, and all this informations we got, we gathered the information from the literature and from the megalith. From the megalith give us many, it belongs to the archaeological sources of history. Synthesis of the two culture. We have already seen the blend of the mixtures of the mixture of the two cultures. I told you in the beginning that Sangam means an assimilation of the Aryan and Dravidian during this age. The stories of Mahabharata and Ramayana were all known to the poets of the Sangam age. The stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, the two great epics of our country, these were known to the poets of the Sangam age. The Tamil poets were also very much familiar with characters and stories related in Sanskrit literature. So the Tamil poets, they are very much familiar with the stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, and they were also familiar with the stories and characters related to Sanskrit literature. Arundhati, for instance, had become a model for women in the south. So they used to worship Arundhati. Who was Arundhati? Arundhati was a model for women in the south. All this belong to the social condition, and these social conditions in the Sangam age were the synthesis of the two cultures. The Arundhati, she personified the ideal of chastity. The legend that Chakra bird feeds only on raindrops, and the raindrops turn into pearls in particular seasons, is another instance of Sanskritic ideas and beliefs put into the literature of the Sangam age. So they started to worship Arundhati. She was a model of purity, and there was a legend that Chakra bird feeds only on raindrops, and the raindrops turn into pearls. The Chakra birds feed only raindrops, and these raindrops turn into pearls. So this was also another instance of Sanskritic ideas and beliefs. Now, besides this, in the social condition, next come the caste. The Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas appear as regular caste or varnas in the Sangam text. An ideal king was one who never caused an injury to the Brahmins. Many Brahmins were celebrated poets, and as such they were handsomely rewarded by the rulers. Now, mark up till this, other is not necessary. So the society was castrated. The society was divided according to the caste. What were these? The Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas. These were the regular caste or varnas during the Sangam age, and it was clear to us from the Sangam literature. An ideal king who never hurt to any Brahmins. Many Brahmins, among the Brahmins, there were many Brahmins who were the celebrated poets, and they were handsomely rewarded by the kings. Now, next, in the next para, you come, my students, in the next para, the social outcast and the forest tribes suffer from extreme poverty. That is the lower caste. The lower caste people were socially outcast, and the forest tribes suffered from extreme poverty. They live from hand to mouth. They live from hand to mouth means they based on their life, based on daily income. If they can work, they can earn something. No work, no pay, no food. The hunters and food gatherers lived mostly in hill areas. In the society there were many hunters, and we know, students, we all of us should know that during that time there were no industrial development, so the people had to live on, their life was based on agriculture, on the forest of food, and the trade also carried on. Now the hunters and the food gatherers lived mostly in the hill areas. They worked hard to survive in difficult situations. So life was very hard, and the life depends very much on the on the nature. If the heavy flood, then they had to face much more difficulty, and also without rain, if there is famine, yeah, drought, at that time also they had to face much difficulty. The ruling class, the class of warriors and some other classes, and besides that, the ruling class of warriors and some other classes, the ruling class was called arasar. The members of this class had marriage relation with the velalas. Look at the book, my students, look at the book and underline this. The ruling class was called arasar. The members of this class had marriage relation with the velalas, the propertied people owning the bulk of the land. The people who had much property, that is, they had they owned property, they belong to the wealthy class, means they own the bulk of the land. War booty and income from trade and agricultural produce enable the king to maintain professional warriors. The king on those days, my students, life was based on wars. The king had to undergo several wars. For that purpose, they had to maintain professional warriors. The occasions for war were many. There were many occasions concerning those occasions. There were several wars. That's why much money was spent. According to the Sangam poets, the refusal of one king to give his daughter in marriage to another was a frequent cause of war. There were many causes of the war, and among the causes, if a king refused to give marriage of his daughter to a king of another statehood, then that was one of the important cause of the war. So, according to the book, according to the Sangam literature, look at the book, my students, page B62. The occasions for war were many. According to the Sangam poets, the refusal of one king to give his daughter in marriage to another was a frequent cause of war. In Sangam poetry, heroes are glorified, and wars and cattle raids were often mentioned. So in Sangam poetry, heroes were glorified. That is, in the society, heroes, the war heroes, that is, the warfare was very much glorified, and for that purpose the war heroes were taken into much consideration. Their rank were much higher in the society. The bards constitute a class separate from the Brahmin poets. Poets, we know, my students, who used to write the poems, but the birds, B-A-R-D-S, birds means the poets who used to sing a song, in most cases written by themselves, and they give fine music to this, and they used to move from one place to another. They recited poems praising the rulers and the brave warriors, and the contents of their poems were in praise of the rulers and the brave warriors. Another class was that of the Kadesharas, who worked as agricultural laborers. My students, in your book, underline this, Kadaisayaras, who worked as agricultural laborers. This class, They worked as agricultural laborers. Their job involved a lot of hard physical work. Their social position was not much different from that of a slave, but they were very much degraded in the society, and their social position was not much different from that of a slave. Now, institution of marriage. So we come to know that the social conditions during the Sangam age and the society was divided into different castes, and the kings used to praise the Brahmins. Among the Brahmins there were many poets, and the king also used to give a huge remuneration, or you can say that the Brahman poets were handsomely rewarded by the kings. But the lower caste condition was very horrible. They were generally outcasts of the society. And then the birds, there is some difference in between the birds and the poets. And in the society there were frequent wars. It was a common phenomena. Regarding many occasions there were frequent wars. But in the society the hero's position were much higher. People used to look at the heroes with much praise and appreciation. Now, institution of marriage, the Tolkappiyam, underline in your book, my students, the Tolkappiyam, page B62 in my book, written by Tolkappiyar. So, the book, short question may come, who wrote Tolkappiyam? You have to write Tolkappiyar wrote Tolkappiyam. What is the main contents of the book? That is, what is the subject matter of the book? States that marriage was an important religious ceremony accompanied by many rituals. So during the Sangam age also, marriage was considered as a very, very important institution. It was accompanied by many rituals. Naturally, the Aryan culture had now much impact on the institution of marriage. The Aryan culture has a great contribution to the institution of marriage. Earlier, the Tamils had a relatively simple conception of marriage. They regarded it as the natural coming together of men and women, mainly due to their physical differences. Now, in the Tamil culture also, marriage was very important, but they considered it as a natural consequences of coming together of a man and woman. But the Aryans, they considered marriage as not only important, but it is associated with many rituals. So, combining these two religions, that is the Tamil and the Aryans, marriage institution got much of its importance. And my student, I told you that Sangam age means the synthesis of culture of the Dravidian and the Aryan culture. Now, position of women. The joint family system characterized the society. So the Sangam age was very much characterized by the joint family system. Although some women got good education, their status in society was not equal to that of men. But so in the society what happened? Though the women got good education, but their position was not equal to men. They did not have the right to inherit property. My students, follow this point very carefully. Why the women were not considered equal to men? Though the women got good education, they had no right to inherit property. They were aesthetics also among women, following the Jain and the Buddhist tradition. According to the Jain and the Buddhist, so in the Sangam age also there was a severe impact of the Buddhist and the Jain tradition. So following those traditions, there were many priests also among the women. The worship of Kanagi or Patini Underline, my students, short question may come from this. Suggests that the vow of chastity was regarded as the greatest feminine virtues. In fact, the images of Patini Devi were being preserved and worshipped by Tamils in their temples until very recently. So worship was considered religion, loyalty to the religion and worship towards God. Among the women there were many priests, sages also following the Buddhist and the Jain tradition. So we come to the point, my student, come to the point that worship and religion was considered one of the important phenomena during the Sangam age, and images of Patini Devi were being preserved and worshipped by Tamils in their temples until very recently. And we know, my students, that India offers unity in the midst of diversity. I hope many of you have visited South India. In South India there are in the 21st century also innumerable temples. So they are very much devotee. They had strong attachment towards the religion. Now, religions and religious rituals, my students, I come to the last part of the social conditions. In my next class, I will deal with the economic conditions. Religion and religious culture, B63 in my page. In my book, in the early centuries of the Christian era, the ruling class and upper section of Tamil society had accepted Brahmanism. So, in the early centuries of Christian era, the ruling class and upper section of the Tamil society, they accepted the Brahmanism. And my students, in my previous class, I told you that the Buddhism and Jainism in the 6th century BC, though it became popular, but we have to experience the sharp decline as the Brahmanism rose in the society again. So, in the Tamil society had accepted Brahmanism. The king used to perform Vedic sacrifices. The king used to perform Vedic sacrifices. The Brahman studies and chanted the Vedic hymns. There were disputation or public discussion on Vedanta, Vedic philosophy. People were so cultured, so educated. There were discussion regarding Vedanta and Vedic philosophy. The worship of Vishnu was gaining popularity. Worship of Vishnu gaining popularity. But the chief deity of people of the hilly region was Murugan. The chief deity at the hilly region was Murugan. Jainism also flourished during this period along with Buddhism. Along with Buddhism, Jainism also flourished. The two sects enjoys royal patronage. Jainism and Buddhism also gained royal patronage. Dead bodies had begun to be cremated, although the megalithic practice for the disposal of the body continued. For the cremation of the dead bodies, the megalithic practice was continuing. So my students, today up till this, and in my next class I will discuss the economic conditions of the Sangam age. So about the religion and religious rituals, the people used to accept Brahmanism, though in the society Buddhism and Jainism prevailed, and regarding the dead bodies, the megalithic culture still continued. Okay, and the people were highly educated because regular discussion of Vedanta, Vedic religion was going on in the society, and Vishnu was gaining, worship of Vishnu was gaining much popularity. Okay, my students, wish you all the best, a happy weekend. In my next class, I will deal with the economic conditions of the Sangam age. Thank you.